Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of Stringer's Notebook. I'm your host, Joel Horto, editor and publisher of OneManFastBreak.net. Before I dive into my notes, please hit like, share, subscribe, and feel free to drop in a comment or two. Every opinion matters around here. Appreciate all the feedback. Now, today's notebook will be about the NBA Finals and why people are not tuning in and watching the series. Now, before I drop the hammer on the OKC Indiana series, I'll say this about the current state of basketball. Basketball, in terms of popularity around the world, is thriving. It's in good shape. Basketball is a global game. Its popularity stretches outside the United States. Just because the U.S. audience is not watching the NBA Finals doesn't mean that people around the world are not watching the NBA Finals. I was actually looking forward to the matchup between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. They are the two best teams in the NBA. They've been amazing all season. They are led by two rising stars in Shai, Gilgeous-Alexander, and Tyrese Haliburton. Even though they're from two small market teams, I had high hopes. But I'm a hardcore basketball fan. I'm going to watch the NBA Finals regardless of who's in it. I was curious to see if non-basketball fans would tune in. Well, we got our answer right away, right out of the gate. The Nielsen TV ratings came out, and they were historically bad. Game 1 of the NBA Finals averaged about 9 million viewers, while Game 2 dipped to about 8.8 million viewers. Now, Game 1, that is the lowest finals rating in over 35 years. Not counting the two COVID years of 2020 and 2021. Those were outliers. While Game 2's numbers were the worst since 2007, when the Cavaliers played the Spurs. LeBron versus Tim Duncan. Even those two guys couldn't elevate that series. It was a sweep, so it ended pretty quickly, and the ratings were not great. Understandably so, because again, you got two more small market teams. But I'm not going to ding Indiana and Oklahoma City too much on small markets. I think small market teams still fairly do well in the NBA Finals. And I don't think that is a small part of the problem. I don't think it's the biggest issue with the dip in TV ratings. Nearly every other American sports league is up year over year in terms of ratings. From college basketball to the WNBA. WNBA is exploding. They're getting their best TV numbers thanks to Caitlin Clark. Major League Baseball is up, and obviously the NFL is the king of the TV ratings. Nobody is going to beat or dethrone the NFL. They are enjoying a massive TV ratings bump. The NBA is the outlier. The ratings were so bad that NBA Commissioner Adam Silver had to address it, and he had to find a positive spin. Now, the NBA audience skews younger, so it's not shocking that the numbers are down. The 18 to 34 demographic, they don't watch TV anymore. This is Gen Z. Gen Z spends more of their time on social media. They're not on regular TV or linear TV. Now, social media, this is where the NBA dominates. The NBA actually does better than any other pro sports league when it comes to social media. The NBA has about 182 million followers across Instagram, Twitter or X, TikTok, and YouTube. By comparison, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and NHL have combined 153 million followers. The Nielsen TV ratings uses an outdated method where it pulls in data from linear broadcasts. Linear TV is for people like me, the older demo. My demo has naturally thinned out over the years. There are more options now to watch a sporting event than ever before. I have reasons why the NBA Finals between the Thunder and Pacers isn't attractive, beyond the Gen Z dilemma. Number one, the lack of star power and personalities. There was a question by Stephen A. Smith to Magic Johnson on ESPN First Take about superstars. Stephen A. asked Magic his definition of a superstar. And Magic said a superstar is someone who is box office, someone who can generate fandom and excitement, both home and away, someone you can't wait to watch. Now, as good as Shai has been all season, he was MVP this season, and how good Haliburton has been in the 2025 playoffs, they don't seem to be exciting fans. Tyrese has more of a personality than Shai, but both guys are not going to make me rush back home to watch the games. I'll just wait until the fourth quarter when Hallie might do something special and do one of his crazy game winners. Now, to Magic's point about superstars, SGA and Haliburton are not box office. Not yet, at least. They are at the doorstep of superstardom. Now, the second reason is the lack of drama in the NBA Finals. The games look like regular season games. They haven't been good. They haven't been entertaining. Outside of Game 1, when the Pacers made that historic comeback and Haliburton hit that incredible game winner, the games have been kind of boring. They haven't been compelling. Games 2 and 3 look like regular season games in March. You wouldn't know the difference if you watched the game in March and the game in June. So the lack of drama definitely is not helping the ratings. Now, the third one is the Thunder and the Pacers are way too similar. Too many similarities. Styles make fights. What makes great fights? In one corner you have a slugger, in the other corner you have a boxer. In these 2025 NBA Finals, you have two boxers, no sluggers. They're very similar. They are a product of a copycat league. The NBA in general lacks uniqueness these days. Teams and players are blending together and the style of play is mirrored around the league and the style of play looks the same. There are only a few plays teams run on offense nowadays. You have your high pick and rolls or high ball screens, which leads to dribble drives, driving kicks, and lobs. Then you have your horns sets, which you have two guys at the free throw line. You have your dribble handoffs or your DHOs, which is pretty popular since the Golden State Warriors started running it. And then you have your 5-out, no center, the donut offense, everything around the perimeter. I'm not saying these are bad plays or schemes. They do work. OKC and Indiana run the same plays, and they are the last two teams standing. So they do work. Brings me to my fourth reason why these finals haven't been exciting or why it's not getting enough eyeballs. There's too much emphasis on analytics. Now, here's my problem with analytics. It's a copycat league, they say. Whenever somebody comes up with something new, others tend to copy it. Here's a problem with copying. Copying each other's notes doesn't make you smart. You get lazy and you end up not studying for the exam. You might even fail the test. When NBA teams are drafting the same player or the same archetypes to play in this era of positionless basketball, the product is going to start looking the same, which makes the game boring. It's not entertaining. When the vast majority of NBA executives and coaches are subscribing to the same analytical data, then we shouldn't be surprised to see what we're seeing on the court. We're seeing too many of the same things. It shows up on the product. When players around the league are working out with the same shooting coaches, the same skill trainers, you're going to end up with a bunch of clones doing the exact thing over and over again. It's a rinse and repeat product. There's zero originality and zero creativity. Players are working on the same moves developed by these same trainers, shooting coaches. They all attend the same workouts run by Drew Hanlon, Chris Brickley, Phil Handy, Rico Hines. No wonder we're seeing the same moves, because too many players are taught by the same skills coaches. I get it. You need analytics to be successful. That's part of evolution. That's part of evolving. You use tools at your disposal in order to raise the bar of success. The Thunder and the Pacers are products of analytics. It does work. The two teams in the NBA Finals have proven that these data that the players and coaches and executives that are widely used are working. But analytics is also taking the fun out of sports. What makes sporting events fun is you don't know the outcome. It's reality TV at its finest. We don't know what's going to happen these next 48 minutes. And we're going to enjoy the journey. And that's why we go to sporting events. Basketball, in particular, is a creative sport. At its core, it's about creativity and athletic marvel. We love basketball because we are amazed at what basketball athletes can do on court. We love speed and power and agility. We love the high wire acts. We love the slam dunks. We love the alley-oops. They are all on full display on the basketball court. Nothing generates more excitement than an aerial assault at the rim. Fans are at the edge of their seats during a fast break when there's a buildup, capped off by a thunderous dunk. It's only 2 points. It's not 3, it's 2 points, but still, it generates excitement. It's pure entertainment. Fans want to be entertained. And you won't be entertained if you jack up a 3-point shot on a fast break. That's not entertainment. I can do that. A normal, average basketball player can do that. Dunking a basketball, alley-oops, aerial assaults at the rim, not everybody can do that. That's what makes these NBA athletes special. A transition 3-point shot might be the worst shot in basketball. The only thing worse than a transition 3 is a transition corner 3. Now, there's no easy solution to this problem because the 3-ball craze in positionless basketball is deeply embedded at every level. High school, college, the NBA, internationally, they all shoot threes, and position versatility is a must nowadays. Change is tough. It's not going to be easy to turn the ship around. It has to come from the grassroots level. The change has to come through coaching, proper coaching, and the players themselves need to change their habits. The NBA needs the entertainment factor back. Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of my favorite players in the league. And he was once asked if he was interested in training with other star players? And he said no. It's like, why would I train with somebody who I want to beat on the court? That's the killer mentality that these players need to have. And also, we don't need to be chummy. They don't need to be chummy with each other. They need to compete against each other. In the NBA Finals, that's also part of the problem. Shai and Tyrese like each other. And they don't hate each other. There's no tension between the two of them. And this is part of the star power and personality that was mentioned by Magic Johnson. You need star power to bring in the viewers. You need to grab their attention. As a star player, you need to be great at what you do and also be entertaining. And that's hard to do. I get it. That's not easy. There are only a handful of guys in the world who are capable of doing that. But that's what makes them unique. They're a champion because they're unique. They're different. They're built different. If the league wants to bring in more eyeballs, or if the league wants to bring in Gen Z into the mix, then they need star players who command attention, great at what they do, and are entertaining. We need entertainment. Adam Silver is not wrong when he said we can't compare TV ratings from the past 20 years or from past eras. A lot has changed in the last 20 years. We need to have more entertaining players. We need to have more players doing more creative things, not just shooting threes and running DHOs and doing high ball pick and rolls and kicking it out for a corner three. You want the hardcore basketball fans, along with new basketball fans, you want to give them something that they'll remember the game. It's moments. In the NBA Finals, we remember the great moments. The stats are cool, but it's the moments that really define what greatness is about. It's the moments that we remember. It's the moments where Michael Jordan hits the shot against Utah. It's the moment when a game on the line, Game 7, when Kyrie Irving hits a three-pointer over Steph Curry on the wing. Those moments are the ones that are going to bring in more viewers, and those are the moments that entertain fans.